What is up, internet friends? I hope you're having the best day. My name is Karissa, for those of you who are new to my channel. For those of you who have been sticking around for a while, you probably know that I haven't done an updated tattoo and piercings video for like close to 4 years. It's been a while. Let's change that. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've seen me go from many different styles. I'm a chameleon. I like to change. But most notably, I have added quite a bit of ink along the way and a couple of piercings. You might have already seen my previous tattoo and piercings tag. If not, I will link it down below in the info box for you to have a watch, have a giggle. There is small-lipped Karissa in her glory. Okay, to kick things off, my first tattoo I got when I was 18 years old. It's the one on my back left shoulder, and it is Angels and Airwaves lyrics. And I got it done at Sacred Heart Studio in Vancouver, BC. And I went to the Davie location. I don't know why I'm pointing that way. It's over that way. I think that it's one of those tattoos that it was kind of more of a classic font. I believe in the saying, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever get tired of. Although I will say, I do forget that it's there. And like Glenn will be filming me from behind like for a vlog, or someone will take a picture of me and I'll be like, oh, there it is. It's one of those things that you don't really think about because it's not in front of your face. If you guys want a little bit more in depth of why I chose that particular lyric or the other lyrics on my body, why I chose them, maybe refer back to my previous tattoo and piercings video because I already say it there and that is still completely relevant. Just over a year and a bit after I got my first tattoo done, I got 2 more tattoos, and again they were text. The first one was the "We Are All That We Are" tattoo on my arm. Again, it is Angels and Airwaves lyrics. I was on a bit of an Angels and Airwaves binge back in the day. It still holds very true though because it is something that genuinely means something to me. We are all that we are, meaning that we do not have to go out and find things or bring things into our life to be enough. We are already enough with all that we already are. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's how I interpret it, and that's how morally I think that it still rings true for me. The second one that I got is up on my shoulder, and it says, "May the Force be with you." I'm a huge Star Wars fan, as I'm sure you've probably seen from my other Star Wars tattoos, but this was one of the second tattoos that I got. Like I said, I got both of these in the same sitting. I wanted it to kind of look elvish because again, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan as well as a Star Wars fan, but I wanted it to be mirrored so that other people couldn't see it, but when I walk up to a mirror, I can see it. So after getting these 2 done, I thought that I was going to be done for a while. I didn't really plan on many other tattoos. I knew that eventually I wanted something on my wrist, which eventually was one of my next tattoos, but I probably went, would have been a good like 2.5, 3 years without getting any further work done. And then when I came back to Canada in the summer of, it was the summer of 2015, I decided that I wanted to get another tattoo, but I was gonna get my first actual image tattoo. And I was really excited because text is one thing, like there is so many different things that you can resonate with or you can have a feeling from, but for me, I found it really hard to connect to an image that I was going to appreciate a long time down the road. And so when I finally did land on what I wanted, I thought that it was perfect because not only is it something that I like, it's something that reminds me of my mom. And that is the sunflower that I have. The sunflower has definitely changed a little bit since I originally got it done. I had originally just had this piece right here, and I had it kind of as a shaded sunflower. I'll try and stick in a previous photo of it before we've kind of tampered with it, but I wanted something right there, and I thought that that was going to be the only image that I got. Turns out, I got more. And the funny thing with tattoos is, I feel like you don't always know that you want a lot. Like I never ever thought that I would have a lower sleeve. I never thought that I'd have a sleeve. Now I'm kind of like trying to slow down so I don't tattoo my whole damn arm like that. But I wish that I had thought a little bit more about placement just long term, because it really did kind of screw me to not have the option there. I probably would have pre-planned this one and maybe not centered it right on my arm, but is what it is, working around it. I still love it. I think that sunflower is gorgeous. And like I said, it reminds me of my mom. It's something that she plants in her garden every single year, and I look forward to seeing her sunflowers, and I love sunflowers because they always face the sun. I think that that's a great message, and that was something that I resonated with, so there you go. In the same sitting as getting my sunflower done, I actually got a tribute to my cat stripes on my wrist. Watching my previous video back, in that I said I didn't know if I wanted to get more tattoos, but I did know that I wanted something on my wrist. And this is what it ended up being. My family cat Stripes passed away in kind of like a veterinarian accident. So as a tribute and as a reminder, I decided to get Stripes on my wrist. So it's really funny looking back that I never thought that that's what I would have gotten on my wrist, but I'm so glad that that's what it ended up being, because it truly does mean a lot to me. It's really quite funny getting more and more tattoos as you get older and kind of leaving a bit of a gap in between when you first started getting tattoos and getting more tattoos. I've kind of found that tattoos, at least for me, don't necessarily have to have as much profound meaning. It's more so of, I really like that and I'm going to get that, versus I have to have a reason, I have to think about it for a year before I tattoo it on my body. Not that that is a bad thing, and I think that you more likely will love it forever and ever and ever if you have some type of connection to it. But with that said, I am now at the point where I respect that this is something that represents this pocket of time in my life. And is that going to reflect the rest of my life? Will I love it when I'm 80 or 90 years old? Who the fuck knows? I'm not even the same person I was 5-10 years ago, so I mean, you never know. You never know what you're gonna like or dislike, so you may as well just do what makes you happy. Which kind of brings me to my next piece, which was my largest piece right here on my arm. I knew that I really wanted to get a cat skull and or chihuahua skull, because I have another cat and I have a chihuahua. If you guys don't already know, she's amazing. But I wanted to get something that was like a hybrid kind of skull, and I really liked flowers and I really liked sacred geometry and stuff like that, so I thought, screw it, let's involve all of those things into one giant arm piece. I got it done in salmon arm by the same artist who did my sunflower and my stripes. His name is Cameron Morris, and he is a badass. He does sweet tattoos. I really love his work. I'll leave his Instagram down below if you're interested, but I love it. He drew all the concept. I came up with, okay, this is what I want, and this is kind of the placement of what I want. Can you make something work? And so originally we had all the peonies and the skull, and then I wanted to do some type of mandala in with it. Realistically, had I planned it a little bit better, I probably would have shifted the mandala a little bit over. Doesn't really matter, I still love where it is, and it also left this beautiful gap for my latest additions. So these are my latest additions. I got them in November of this year. I knew for quite a while that I wanted to get a TIE fighter, and I decided last minute that I was going to have it chasing an X-wing up the little funnel of my arm. So I'm really loving these. There's such cute, intricate dot work involved. I think that it's so cool. When I did get this larger piece and I had quite a bit of dot work and sacred geometry in with it, we decided to add some to the sunflower as well, just so that the sunflower wasn't mismatching the more bolder tattoo. We wanted to kind of give this a little bit more black and a little bit more like hearty lines to it. So we altered that. And then to keep these kind of in the same family, we added the dot work into the X-wing and the TIE fighter. How cool though, right? I definitely do want to do something in here. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. I do know eventually I would like some type of fungi on me at some point. I don't know, like mushrooms, not like fungus. God, let's just clarify. What else? I think that I'll do a sleeve. It's so funny, like I said, watching the previous video, being like, I would never cover myself in tattoos. Carissa, you're gonna watch this in 5 years and be like, what the fuck? It's kind of funny having a visual diary and sharing it with so many people, because it's just, who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought? Okay, so let's talk about my piercings though, because last time that we talked about this, I was like anti-piercing. Turns out, I like piercings. When I first started my channel, I had told you guys that I didn't even get my ears pierced. My mom had pierced them when I was a little baby, so I had nothing to do with it. And I didn't really think that I would ever get any other piercings, which I do find that so funny, but I will say that all the piercings that I do currently have been very spur of the moment, like, fuck it, I just need change, I'm gonna do it. And so I booked it and did it. The first one being my septum piercing. I think it's already been almost a year and a half ago. I woke up one morning and I'd been really frustrated with, Glenn and I were dealing with a lot of immigration stuff in Australia. We're still having to do the same thing in Canada, but in Australia it was me dealing with my immigration. And I had a couple of really hard months because, as any of you know who have moved continents or moved countries, it's not easy and there's a lot of stress involved with that. And so one morning I just had a really shitty couple of weeks and I felt like I had no control over anything in my life. And I woke up and I said to Glenn, I'm gonna get my nose pierced. And he was like, what? And I'm like, I know, I think I'm gonna get my nose pierced. And he's like, oh, so like a little hoop? I'm like, no, my septum. So he was like, where is this coming from? I was like, where is this coming from? Before I even thought even too much into it, I just booked an appointment and went and did it. And it was so funny because it wasn't something that I ever intended on having. I never thought that I would keep it. I thought that I would get it done and then maybe keep it for like 3, 4, 5 months just to play around and then get rid of it. And here we are, like a year and a half later. I love my piercing. I think it's awesome. I enjoy changing out the jewelry. I enjoy being able to flip it up when I don't want it. I think that septum piercings are a lot of fun and I'm glad that I got it. So that was definitely a spur of the moment thing. And then another kind of spur of the moment thing, which you guys probably already know because I've already done a video on it. I got my nipple pierced. TMI, but there we go. I got my left nipple pierced right here. I'll frame it for you. I'm so happy that I did. I got it done in, God, was it March? I think it was March. And I got it done in Australia at the same place that pierced my septum by the same girl. She was lovely, by the way. The place where I got it done was Skin Candy. They have quite a few locations in Australia. But yeah, I did a full video on my nipple piercing on my vlog channel. It has a lot of views on it because it says piercing my nipple. Kind of clickbaity, but like in all reality, I was piercing my nipple. So yeah, those are my 2 piercings that I never in a million years thought that I would ever get, but I'm really happy that I did. They both healed super easily for me. I think that the septum healed a little bit quicker than my nipple. Nipple still has moments where if I like smack it or bang it or like wear gym wear too tight for a long time, it can kind of irritate it. There's not a problem with it, it just can get a little bit sore, if that makes sense. If you have a nipple piercing, let me know if that's normal for you too. But yeah, my septum piercing healed super easily. A lot of people say that they get like kind of like a bad smell with like the crusty little bits that kind of form on your piercing. I didn't really have very much of that. I thought it was quite a simple procedure and it really didn't hurt that bad. So for now, that is all of my piercings and that is all of my tattoos. And I am not going to say that I'm not going to get any more or that I would never get any more because time will tell. Who the fuck knows? I sure don't. I would love to hear from you if you got a tattoo or a piercing when you thought that you would never ever get one, and let me know what you got. And if you always knew you were gonna get tattoos and piercings, tell me what you did get and why you got it and if you liked it. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy. I will leave any relevant information in the info box down below for you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you very soon with a new video. See ya!